Okay, this is going to be the one. I have tried many times recording this, but this is going to be the one. I'm not a content creator, guys. I don't know how to edit any of the things, so I'm hoping we get it right. This is going to be just very raw footage, just getting my testimony out there. I have been assigned to put a series of topics out, and I need to be obedient. I have delayed long enough, and for that, I'm very sorry. These topics, these videos should have been put out a while ago, months and months ago, like earlier this year. However, I ran away from the job. I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know what people would think. I didn't want people to think I was crazy, all the things. But I don't care. Here I am. I need to share my testimony with whomever comes across this video. And if it helps one person, then I've done my job. Then that's all that matters. So jump right into it. So we try to keep it somewhat short and sweet. My name is Tegan. I am a mother and I am a wife. And a little bit about my story. So I had some childhood trauma that I would say required me in my early teen years and then my early adult years to try to really fill voids a lot with male attention, with just attention in general. I had some abandonment issues, some rejection issues, a lot of attention seeking. And so I found myself constantly trying to chase love, chase male attention, and fill voids. And that led to that put me on a crash course in my early adulthood life. I luckily, that path was kind of stopped for me when I found my husband, or he found me, I should say. He saved me in so many ways. He showed me that I could trust again, I could love again. He helped kind of nurture the childhood me back to health. However, I still felt like something was missing. I was still trying to numb, memories, numb pain. I was still looking for something else. I was still very much chasing. At the time, I didn't know what it was, right? I was just looking to fill voids that even the most loving kingdom man, gentle, patient, all of the things, right? Even him and all of his amazingness, I couldn't get it fulfilled there. And I found myself constantly trying to numb. And so essentially, I had a lot of health issues. I had migraine issues, back issues, a bunch of issues. And the common denominator, the common thing that doctors were always trying to push was medication, pain medication, right? And so at first I was taking it to help with the pain, and I very much became dependent on it, addicted to it in a way. Didn't even realize that not only was it numbing, yes, my pain, but it was numbing my emotions. It was numbing those memories. It was, I thought, filling those voids. And so for a while, I was very much just functioning through life, just self-medicating, just getting by. And while yes, I had a lot of pain physically that I needed to deal with, a lot of it could have been overcome with physical therapy, with just healthier lifestyles. But I allowed myself to become dependent on it, and I allowed myself to become addicted to it because it numbed out all of those memories, all of that trauma, all of the things I was trying to run away from. And so fast forward to, I would say, about 2 years or so ago, it got to a point where the weight of the world, the weight of trying to be a mother and a wife, and still dealing with all of those problems that I hadn't healed from, it really started to weigh down on me. And I got to a point where I very much just did not want to be here anymore. Almost every day I was having to fight through the struggle of, how do I keep going? How do I keep going for my kids? How do I keep going for my husband? How do I keep going for myself, for the people around me? And it became too much. I tried time and time again to pick myself back up. I struggled quietly. I really didn't. It was embarrassing. I was ashamed of it. I didn't want a lot of people to know what I was going through, not even really my husband. So I very much kind of just, because I'm strong in a lot of ways, struggled with it silently. But it got to a point where the thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore, and again, just the weight of the world, it became too much. And one day I called out and I said, God, I can't do this alone anymore. I need your help. And I had always like known of a God, like again, or not again, sorry, I didn't mention it. I had in my earlier years, we had gone to church, we had prayed sometimes, those things, right? But I've never had a relationship. I never really know who God was. I definitely didn't know who Yeshua was. And that's, the world calls him Jesus Christ. He was just introduced to me as Yeshua. And so that's what I call him. Didn't know who he was. And I went out on a limb one day. I said, okay, I know there's a God out there, and I've tried everything else and it's not working. I need to call out to him. And so one day in my closet, I had enough, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I just called out and I said, I can't do this anymore. I need you to help pull me through. And so little by little, I started to seek help. I went and found a doctor who would help me, who would then pull me off, the pain meds and help get me on a medical assisted treatment, to where it was like medication that they were prescribing that would take away like your cravings. It would help your body withdrawals, that sort of thing. So I got on that, and then I just full-fledged I said, okay, God, if you're pulling me through this, I know you're real. And I want more of it. Like I need more of it. And so little by little, I started reading the Bible more. I started, it's like little things started to just, that I once had a taste for, is how I'll explain it. Maybe the music I listened to, the movies I watched, the things I did, the habits in my life. I would wake up one day and they would just no longer be the same, right? I would listen to the music and I would just, I'm not messing with it anymore. I would watch a certain movie and it would no longer fulfill me. I wanted more from his kingdom. And so he brought me every step of the way. I got baptized just March of this year. And I would say that is when I full force jumped in. Before that, don't get me wrong, I'm reading. He's still pulling me in closer. My husband and I did our first fast, I want to say November of last year. And that, it was life-changing. I can't even explain it in words how life-changing it was, but he saved me. Long story short, without saying too many words, he saved me. And I had to share my testimony, because here I was, someone who I never thought I would not be dependent on drugs. I never thought I would wake up with thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore. I never thought I could be happy. And it's like I was in a dark space. The way I like to describe it is I was like in a dark space in a closet. And it's like he came and got me. He said, this is my daughter. She's mine. And he came and got me. And since that's happened, my life has transformed in more ways than I can explain. The love I felt, the love that I mentioned I was chasing all of those years, that I was trying to get from men, from filling voids, he filled it. It's like he is the embodiment of love, right? So he fulfilled a lot of those voids. He healed me in ways I never thought I would be healed. Fast forward to today, I'm no longer on my medical assisted treatment. I am completely sober. I had even at one point been using marijuana to help things, CBD, to completely off of everything. And it's like I got to a point where I only wanted him. So I had to share that testimony, because not only is he there, still saving, still healing, still, and it's not just addiction. It can be depression. It can be anxiety. It can be, there's so many things. He is there to heal. He is there to love. He is there to fill voids that you've chased your whole life to be filled, and nothing is going to fill those voids the way he can. And so I just had to come and I had to share my testimony. I had to be obedient, because he is the chain breaker. when you go to him and you fully surrender, and you come and you say, you know what, I can't do this on my own, I need you, and you put it all, you give it all to him, whatever that thing is. Again, that could be childhood trauma, that could be addiction, that could be depression, that could be anxiety. There's a list of things, right? But when you come to a realization that you can't fight through it yourself, and you step out on a little bit of faith, because what do you have to lose, right? And you give it all to him, he will show up in ways that I can't explain. He will literally come in your life and transform it in ways I can't explain. So I had to get on here, and I had to first part share my testimony, because that's there for everybody. It's not just there for certain chosen ones, for anyone. And I mean the most broken ones, and the not broken ones too, right? But the way he shows up and shows out for his broken ones, I've seen it time and time and again. And I need everyone to know that he is there waiting with open arms for you. And no matter what you have going on, none of it is too big for him. He will take on whatever you have going on. I like to explain it as, because some people feel like they have to do better before they come to him. They have to give things up before they come to him. No, I came to him my lowest, my dirtiest. I was struggling. I didn't know how I could make it another day. And so I like to explain it like, before you get in the shower, do you wash up first and you get in the shower? No, right? You get in the shower dirty, and that shower is what washes you up. He's the same way. You come to him your lowest, your dirtiest. You just have to step in that shower, right? You have to come to him. And once you come in that shower and you surrender, he's going to wash you. He's going to make you new. So that's the first video, the first topic. I'm trying not to keep it too long, because I want to make sure I can put it on multiple platforms, and just see who he needs to hear this. So yes, my testimony, first video. Stay tuned for the next. Thank you.